This is your first Australian tour, is it? How has it been?
It's been really wonderful. It's taken us way too long to get here. I've been telling folks on stage every night that our label came up to us one day and was like, "We don't know why, but you're getting like real radio play in Australia." This is in like 2013, our first album we had put out. So Triple J was playing us before American radio stations. No, still no American radio stations play us. So we've been trying to get out here for 13 years at this point, and it's been hard to do. So this has been great. It's actually been a really great tour.
And was Dark Mofo kind of the anchor for the tour that attracted you at this particular time? What attracted you to be part of Dark Mofo?
We've always been really interested in it. They actually, so Jonathan, one of my bandmates, his last project was called Captain Ahab, and they had invited him a long time ago, and he actually wrote them back being like, "I don't do that project anymore, but I have this new project, Clipping," and sent them all our stuff, and they were like, "This is great, but we already have a rapper this year." That was 2013. We were just looking at those emails, actually. And so we've been sort of trying to figure out how to get to this festival ever since then. It's always seemed like a great one.
And how have you found like the reception from Australian audiences? Does it differ at all from the US?
It's different. Well, everywhere is different, but it's been really warm here, and there has been a sense of, it does feel like there are a lot of people in the audience who have been wanting to see us for a long time, and sort of just never thought it would happen, because we've just never been here. And so, when you go to places where you play over and over again, there's that kind of like familiar exchange with the audience. This was not that, but it has been, all of the shows have been really exciting. The energy's been really up. Yeah.
You work on so many different types of projects, and Clipping has been, as you say, going for quite a while now. What kind of keeps you all invested in Clipping as something that you keep going with?
There's nothing else that's like it. None of the other things I do are even similar to this at all. I mean, the biggest part is that these are two of my best friends, and we've been making music together. We've been making music separately and around each other since we were children. And we've been doing this project for going on 15 years now. So, yeah, when you have something that you get to do with two of your best friends, like, why would you not do that? And then people keep sort of giving us just enough reason to continue doing it. It makes just enough money that it like doesn't, every time we put something out, it's a little bit more popular, just enough to be like, well, we should probably, we don't have to stop. At least it's not costing us as much anymore. Yeah, and also just the way that we work is so singular compared to any of the other types of art I make. This is, there are very few things I find that I get to do where I really only have to do my thing. Like, I really get to be a rapper in this project and have input on all the rest of it, but I'm so confident in the skill set of my bandmates that I don't have to, there's no ceiling on the ideas. We just get to throw ideas in the pot, and like, we will figure out how to execute them. That's pretty rare, actually, as an artist, to have that kind of, because the level of technical expertise on everybody's part is so high, like the ceiling for experimentation and for dreaming is actually really, really high. It's a lot of hard work, but we're very confident in our ability to make the thing that we know how to make, so that's cool.
Can you talk me through that approach, like the experimental side of it, and particularly in terms of instruments and going beyond musical, traditional musical instruments to make the sounds that you do?
Well, William and Jonathan, Jonathan works as a film composer, is his other job, and William, they both come out of the sort of experimental and noise scene. William's been a noise artist for a long time, and all of us grew up together, so just kind of fascinated with the physical properties of things that make noise, right? And how do you, what is an interesting recording, and what is an interesting quality of sound? And so that kind of thought plays into the music making a lot. Like I said, there's a side of it that is very conceptual. There's we want to make this album that is about an escaped slave on a spaceship. Super conceptual. Okay, what does the spaceship sound like? Okay, well, creaks and drones and things that sound like the inside of a spaceship, great. And now it becomes very technical. How do we recreate that? What kind of a space do we need to record these sounds in order to capture that thing? What are the things we have around the house that can make those kinds of noises? What does an oven door sound like if you mic it from here or from here or from here? That's always it. It's always this combination of concept and then the figuring out how to accomplish it technically.
And what are the stories that you're wanting to tell through clipping?
I don't know that there's any specific stories in particular. We tend to lean into genres of fiction or film or whatever that we are into, and use those as springboards to just kind of talk about the present, really, but whatever present we happen to be recording in at the time. But yeah, it's usually, you know, we have these 2 horror records that are, each song is sort of a different kind of like short horror story. We all grew up loving horror films and horror literature, but the impetus for that came from a song that we recorded for another project that just didn't fit on the project. It was really scary, and we were like, oh, we should do a whole album of songs that are like this, and that's how that happened.
Yeah, great. In terms of, like, you know, the current political climate, how important do you find music as a way to communicate with people?
I mean, it's super important. To me, the most valuable part is that it creates community. If you like the same song as somebody, you have something to talk about, and you have something, it puts you in space together too when you get to go to live performances, and that is, I think, kind of the most special part. The music itself speaking to a kind of political climate or whatever is fine if that's what does the trick. It's a little bit irrelevant. I think, like, whatever brings the people together is the more important thing, and we are always going to assign our politics to whatever it is we're listening to. Right?
And music is still, like, having that power in the community and society as things change.
Oh yeah, I think probably more so now than ever. I mean, you see these, and we've sort of, our band has existed in the growth of this. You know, a lot of the early adopters for clipping were like on 4chan and these sort of internet groups that were kind of like hidden away and difficult to get to. I was already too old to know how to find 4chan when these kids were finding us, right? I literally like would go to the sites and couldn't read it. I was like, this looks like nonsense to me. I'm glad these kids like our songs. And that those kinds of communities that we've watched sort of pop up around us have been really great and really cool. And a lot of people have, you know, found each other from across the world and like met up at central places to come see clipping shows or whatever. But yeah, it just has created some communities for that people can feel safe in and feel excited in, and use it as a way to, you know, empower themselves and embolden themselves for whatever personal and political and battles have to happen.
Do you find that your time with Hamilton connects people or draws people into clipping as well, or is that a bit of a pathway, or?
Yeah, it definitely was the year. So we went on tour like right after I left the show, and all of a sudden there were all these new kids at the show, you know. And at first I was like, fuck y'all don't know, like this, like, you know, real clipping fans, you know. I tell this story a lot. I had this one experience, and we were on tour opening for the Flaming Lips, and they were playing the House of Blues in Orlando, and I was on Disney property, and Disney was like, clipping can't play. They wouldn't let us play there, despite the fact that all 3 of us worked for Disney at that point. But, so we had to book another show. And we find some concert venue for that night, and we played with our awesome friends, They Hate Change, and it ended up being a great like club show. as had started to happen at that time, like, you know, we're hanging out afterwards and people want to come and get merch signed or whatever. And I see this girl, she must be 13 or something. She's walking up with the huge like Hamilton tome. And I was like, all right, you know, here we go. But it was fine. She was very sweet. And I signed the book and she walks away and her dad steps up and he goes, hey, I just have to say thank you. We actually drove here. It was like, you know, whatever, a 6-7 hour drive from wherever we were. We had to see you. My daughter is 13 and she's an alien to me, and this band is the only thing we agree on. It's like, I've been a fan of this band since you guys first came out, and she just discovered you through this Hamilton stuff, and we both love this band so much, and just thank you so much for providing a thing that I can actually talk to my alien-ass teenage daughter about. And from that moment on, I began to really love the connection. I actually, I understood it differently. I was like, oh, this is actually something I really appreciate. And what does it matter how you get to this? Like, I'm sure there are plenty of people who found us through my involvement in Hamilton who hate this music, right? But if you're here at the show and you found it and you love it, you're the same kind of weirdo as everybody else that's here is, and like, you definitely belong here, you know? So yeah, I think about that story a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering that in terms of whether Hamilton helped get people who hadn't had exposure to rap or hadn't been into it before, had some exposure to it through Hamilton and came to it through that way, and then actually found that they were into it.
Probably. I mean, that show, the Venn diagram of that show is just that, like, it's the inside of Lynn's brain, right? And so, like, if you're a history nerd or a hip hop nerd or a musical theater nerd, like, that was your point of entry to that, and you didn't have to be into all three, but it could open all these same doors that were inside of his head too.